In 2018, Kyle joined Schooler with the goal to establish and develop a global animal protein trading / merchandising business. And under his leadership, Schooler has become a leader in the international trade of animal proteins. This impact extends across borders, with Kyle's team successfully buying and selling animal proteins in 35 countries, with a focus in the United States, Mexico, the Americas, Asia, and Southeast Asia. Under Kyle's guidance, Schooler stands as a significant participant in the global market, consistently placing over 200,000 tons into the international marketplace each year. Please welcome Kyle Canning to give an overview on market intelligence. If you want to walk around. Great. Thanks.
Thank you. Again, I'm Kyle Canning, filling in for Dana to talk about international market intelligence and disruptions in trade flows over the last year. And specifically, I'm going to key in on the Vietnamese market, as there's been some changes there over the last year. First off, looking at the world, want to identify, the largest participants of the market. US, Brazil, in South America, Europe, and Australia. You can see the overall production of each of these industries. US last year exported about 1.1 million metric ton. EU was about 1.5. Brazil's growing year over year. This is off of 2022. As you can see, we have a lot of placement into our top 5 biggest markets: Indonesia, China, Mexico, and Vietnam. Again, wanted to talk about Vietnam. This is a growing market. It's very important for everybody, from pretty much any major production in the world. It's a 26.6 million metric marketing or feed production market, and the largest import market of animal proteins. Over the last year, things have started to change. It's become more difficult into this marketplace. They started really changing a lot of their procedures, collecting samples on containers, testing for DNA, double checking and verifying. So we've seen a lot of the changes in the general flows of things in the marketplace. Europe historically has been a major importer of here. They're still very relevant, but what we've seen is a lot of containers not being able to clear. We've had issues across the board. Some importers have gotten into trouble, are no longer participating in that market. We've had counterparty risk with them, transportation risk. Thousands of containers have gotten stuck at the port, unable to clear. This creates millions of dollars in loss. And also rejection risk, right? I mean, you can be doing everything right and still get into trouble. So what can we do, right? The latest issue is Newcastle. So US has been eradicated from Newcastle since 2020. And this last year, the latest thing is we've had rejections, our poultry and feather meal from the United States, from Brazil, from Argentina, Korea, and Australia all test positive for Newcastle. It's a question of why. It's not 100% clear of what's causing the positive test. Is it being positive due to testing positive for the vaccine, which is also could be being passed through? But so because of this, hundreds of thousands of dollars of money has been lost they won't clear it. So it needs to come back out and go back to the original country. So obviously this creates a lot of lost money in revenue. So one thing, when you have these issues, it's know your customer, whether it's your exporter from the US or from South America or wherever you are, understand that they're going to do things the right way. And if a problem arises, they're going to stick with you to the end. It's our job and people like my job to ensure that the product gets to the end destination as safely as possible without doing everything right, but still issues do inevitably arise. So, sometimes, it's like, okay, well, when a problem happens, what do you do? And I always tell my team, guys, there's no bad news unless it's late. So, when problems arise, you tell people. NARA, USDA, FSA, they're all here to help. So identify when there's a problem, speak up, talk to NARA, because we were one of the first people that had Newcastle test positive in our product. And it's like, okay, well, what do we do now? Well, we bring it up. We talk to the right people to identify. And then from there, talking to Dana, talking to Kent, et cetera, it's like, oh, well, also this is happening in Australia. This is happening all over the world. And then it's more of a cohesive effort to say, what's the true issue? What's really going on? Do we have a problem in the United States, or is this a testing problem at destination? How do we fix the problem to ensure that we continue to have product placed to these important markets? Because the most important thing from my perspective for the industry, we need to continue to have disappearance of product. We need to place product in different parts of the world. And when we have such an important market like Vietnam, we have to do everything right to ensure that we have long-term success into these markets, because this is not just a poultry problem or a pork problem or a feather problem. All the products that we trade, whether it's beef, pork, poultry, et cetera, they're all correlated. And a problem on poultry has a trickle-down effect to the problems on beef. Less product will leave the United States, which brings out the domestic value for all the products that we're touching. And at the end of the day, we have to remember that these are all correlated and we all need to work together, because, frankly, a couple bad decisions can affect the entire industry overall. I know I was a little late starting, so I don't want to take up too much additional time. If anybody has any questions, I'm happy to answer, but otherwise, that's all I have for you guys today.